Hello everyone, Joey here with Raising Empathy with Me. I wanted to come on here to share a common question that I get and hope that it kind of helps you understand the differences between the little ones that I'm talking about most often. So, what is the difference between a highly sensitive child and an empath? Let's start with the empath. So, as an empath, you are highly sensitive. So that's one of the traits of being an empath. Now, as a highly sensitive little one, you have several traits that overlap with an empath, but not all of them. And two of the biggest differences are what I'm going to share with you today. Number one, as an empath, we pull in energy, like very subtle energy from the environment, from other people. It doesn't even have to be close to us. It can be things that are going on in the world around us. It can be people that are near to us. I'll share a story here in a little bit about that. But we pull in that energy and we actually physically and emotionally feel that. So when someone is in pain or hurting, it's not just something that we take on and observe because we're sensitive. It is actually physically felt in our body. And it is felt in a way that is more than often hard to distinguish between, like, is this my own pain or is this somebody else's? And especially for a little one, this is really hard to be able to tell the difference. And that leads to a lot of the feelings and the big emotions that our empaths have. This does not happen with a highly sensitive child. So if this is something that your child is expressing, they fall in the empath realm, not just the highly sensitive child piece. Another area that is very different for an empath is we are highly intuitive. This is very hard to explain, but from a very, very young age, my mom would often question the things like, did somebody tell you that? Or just random things that would happen. But we are very, very intuitive and very aware of what's going on in the world, almost like an animal that's very in tune with the world and the surroundings on a level that can be a struggle. We often know when people are lying. I'll just say that. We have to know when people are lying. We have to know when people are being dishonest. We know personalities, even when people are very good at putting on like a cover or a front. Those are the sort of things that we pick up on. Now, if you were a highly sensitive child, you might like feel a little bit of that from somebody and not feel comfortable. But an empath actually really pulls in that person's really who they are. That's a difference. Now, like I said, I wanted to share a story with you. I myself am an empath, as is my daughter. And we had a recent experience that just kind of highlights and explains what I mean by feeling what's going on. So in June of last year, I went to bed. I couldn't sleep. I was super restless. I felt uncomfortable. My body felt restless. I felt a little sweaty, but not fever sweaty. My heart just was racing. I thought, okay, am I having a panic attack? When I got up, I felt dizzy. I felt tight in my chest, but it wasn't like in a concerning way. It was just an uncomfortable way. Now I keep my phone off and we turn all the wireless signals, all that sort of stuff off. But I decided at 1:00 in the morning to turn my phone on. When I turned my phone on, immediately I had voice messages and texts from my brother. And I knew that something was going on. So without even looking, I just immediately called. And when I called, I found out that my mom had just suffered at 12:45, had a massive stroke. And of course, my world just fell apart. But what I was feeling and what I was going through, that was what that was. Like, my body actually took on what my mom was going through. And it was a sign, and I've become very accustomed to like being aware and paying attention to those signs, which is why I turned on my phone thinking, let's see. I'm going to see what's going on. So now to top this off, I spent all morning pacing, cleaning up, doing what I could, pulled myself together because my little one was going to be waking up soon, and went to bed, back to bed with my little one, and laid down beside her. I was really shocked that she slept this whole time. But immediately when she woke up, she was crying, and she said, "Mama, my heart hurts." And I said, "What do you mean your heart hurts?" She said, "Mommy, my heart hurts for Lolly. Like I feel pain right here, and I can't breathe." And then of course that triggered like the tears in me, and I let my little one know that we would be leaving from where we were staying. My husband was in Creed guiding at that time, and I told her we would be leaving to drive to Denver to see Lolly, that she was in the hospital and wasn't doing well. So those are the kind of connections that that kind of helps you distinguish between, are you raising a highly sensitive child that picks up on people's feelings, and they kind of, they might be sad because they see somebody that's sad, or do they really physically take that on? Is that like a real physical thing for them? There's a huge difference with that. So I hope that a little bit of that helps you kind of distinguish between it. It is a little blurry, but if you were following me at Raising Empathy with Me on Instagram, you will begin to see that I'm sharing all the traits of an empath, and of course I will be continuing to share. So make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel and that you follow along on my journey on Instagram. All right, talk more. Bye.